Guys, there's only a few times in the history of mankind where we can have a transfer of wealth as big as cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency equals a massive transfer of wealth. The dollar is dead. This dollar that we cherish so much, this is dead. I'm so passionate about it. I have to rip money on the internet to show people that this is just paper that they assigned value to. It's dead. This does not make sense anymore. It's so dead. They keep attacking Bitcoin consistently. We have John McAfee dead. Supposedly, he committed suicide. Bitcoin billionaires are dying out of the blue. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this doesn't look like a coincidence, especially right now with Bitcoin's price. I'm going to do something that's going to help millions of people. I'm going to create for you guys a new age futuristic retirement plan, thinking super long term in Bitcoin's price or cryptocurrency's price. And this is going to be way better than a traditional retirement plan. Remember, if you've held Bitcoin for 4 years in any period of time in Bitcoin's existence, you'd be in profit. This strategy would not involve real estate, 401ks, or index fund investing. They're way too slow, and it doesn't allow you to take advantage of Web 3.0 and decentralized finance. It's going to be very simple. Anybody with an internet connection and half a brain can execute this. There's not going to be any crazy, volatile, sleepless nights. You're going to be able to execute this and not look at it for long periods of time. It will be complete with low risk investments, very low risk investments. Again, I just want to be very clear. Share this with a friend that's struggling. It doesn't require a lot of money at all. You can do this with small amounts of money over a long period of time. I'm tired of the rich getting richer and leaving the poor with pebbles, with pennies. I'm tired of rich and powerful people being born with advantages we never had and then adding advantages by having this information and this knowledge to execute as well as the capital. I'm tired of them getting richer. It's time for the biggest transfer of wealth the world has ever seen before, and I want you to take part in it. Guys, if you don't think it's possible, I am living proof that it's possible, and I want to make it possible for you. Keep watching. I want you to imagine your life in the future. You've been working hard every day, every single day for the past 30 years. You have a retirement account with a 401k worth $250K and stock investments that add up to about $150,000. Your significant other has about the same, but a little bit less. You show up to work and you're tired. Your bosses have been on your ass about irrelevant standards and topics. For the past couple weeks, it's getting annoying. Your company had a management change and the new ones suck. They've been letting go of all your coworkers and you think you might be next. You want to quit and retire, but it doesn't add up. You've been considered middle class for all your life and you listened to your financial advisor, saved money, did everything correctly. But as the current numbers show, if you live on the bare minimum for the next 7 years, you wouldn't even survive. You get that weird feeling in your gut because you've been doing the math and you feel trapped. So you get up from your chair, take a little break, and head on over to the coffee machine. You can smell the dark roast and decide to pour yourself a coffee. Your boss walks in with some type of anger issue and you can tell he's about to snap. He starts pressing you about your department and not having good productivity and having all these productivity issues. And so you kind of small talk him and say, okay, I got to get back to work to make sure your productivity increases. As you turn around, you hear a slight chuckle and then he threatens your job. This new guy that just came in the last 2 weeks is trying to threaten your job. That gut feeling of being trapped and having lack of freedom gets thicker. You start feeling it emotionally, right? You want to leave. You feel like you're suffocating. The pressure is feeling so strong, you feel like a headache is coming. You are literally getting sick with stress from your job that you've been working for the past 30 years. I know it sounds corny, but if you're watching this video, that can be you. There's currently millions of people in today's economy, and I could also say it because I'm physically experiencing it. I have people in my family that are going through this. To be completely honest, it sucks knowing that you have to work 30 years, 40 years of your life and sacrifice so much for a company only to find out that the money that you have saved is not enough for retirement. It's like the worst feeling in the world. People that acquire the most money usually do one of the two things, okay? Number one, they either invest in a technological shift, or two, they actually create a technological shift. So investing is obviously the easier part, and don't miss it. There's one that's happening right now. In traditional finance, people typically invest in a 401k or an IRA. Okay, it's very common knowledge, and they use some type of index fund investing. So we're going to do some percentages and make some predictions. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average pre-tax household income in the United States in 2019 was $82,852, while total expenditures were $63,036. $20,679 in housing and about $8,169 in food, and so on. So think about it. If you're a married couple in a state like Florida with no state income tax, but you still have federal tax and employment taxes, that is $69,943 in income. So that's about $6,907 to invest for retirement per year. Divide that by 12, and what you have is about $575.58 that you can invest per month into your retirement plan. The average annual return in the S&P 500 index from 1957 to 2018 is about 8%. Using the Consumer Price Index, or the urban version, which is CPI-U, since 87% of people live in cities, that's why we're taking the statistic, you could assume that future inflation will be on average 2.5%, because that's the average of the past 25 years. After about 10 years at an 8% return through the S&P 500, you're going to have about $100,000. Okay, it's specifically $105,585.62. Now, if you take in consideration inflation, which, like we just calculated, is about 2.5%, your money is going to be worth about $82,000 as of today's date. It'll be equivalent to that. Now, it'll look like, $105,000, but remember, inflation will eat away the purchasing power of that $105,000 retirement. Now, after 30 years, you would have roughly $821,741. And if you take in consideration inflation, it would be worth $391,759. Now, if you lived in a state like California with about an 18% tax versus 15% income tax, you would have only $275,541 after 30 years, taking all variables into consideration. All right, so I know there's a lot of numbers. Let's make the math as easy as possible. I have here an interest calculator, and we can run through the numbers together so you understand what I'm talking about, okay? So if you're index investing in the S&P 500, you're going to get on average 8% return for 10 years, which equals $105,585.62. Now, inflation, which we just told you, is about 2.5%, okay? And that's not including taxes. In 30 years, you're going to get about $821,741.70. Now, if you assume that you have inflation, that's only going to be $391,759. Again, that's the 2.5% inflation. So now that you understand what retirement plan even means in a traditional sense, and what people would do right now if they didn't, learn finance in any way, shape, or form, and they just let somebody grab the wheel and do traditional investing, let's compare that to cryptocurrency. Let's see if you passively invest in cryptocurrency, what your retirement could potentially be. So let's say instead we take the $575 and we invest it into two different things, which is very basic and very simple. Anyone can do it from an app or a phone. Super easy. Buy Bitcoin and buy a stable coin like USDC and get yield. And we split those up evenly, 50-50. How much money would this retirement be worth in 10 years and 30 years? And let's compare it to traditional investing. First, let's look at USDC, because you could treat this like kind of like a savings account. You could pull your money out anytime you want to pay for whatever you need. If you didn't know, USDC is a cryptocurrency alternative to USD. It comes with its own risk, but honestly, there's thousands of stable coins, so you could choose whatever you like. I just personally use USDC because it was created by Coinbase. Coinbase is often used as a standard for regulation in the United States. Here's a proof of funds by the Board of Directors and Management Circle, Internet Financial. You can see that they actually have the funds in USD accounting for the USDC that they've printed. So with this USDC, I would actually generate yield from Celsius. It takes less than like 15 to 20 minutes per month, realistically. And if you want to find the best interest rates, you can go to bitcompare.net, and it shows you the best payouts that you could possibly have. And it's as simple as sending your money to that wallet and staking it. Oh, and really quickly, I know I didn't get paid for this video in any way, shape, or form, but if you want to use my affiliate link below, I get a small kickback. It supports this channel if you trade $400 or transfer $400 in cryptocurrency. And I actually use this product. They did not contact me. I used them because of their features. And if you didn't see it, you can go watch my other video where I took a loan out on my Ethereum and Bitcoin. I kept exposure to this cryptocurrency and then a tax-free loan to pay off my whole entire Tesla. You can go watch the whole video in the link above. If you didn't know, people want to borrow or take a loan out on their cryptocurrency and receive cash, similar to what I did, right? But they don't want to lose exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I could put up $100 of Bitcoin to Celsius and then take a loan out for maybe $20 or $30. And then to get back the $100, all I have to do is pay my loan off. And where do you think the money comes from? It comes from, people like you that just put the USDC on the platform, and then other people can use that money to therefore be used for borrowing and lending, right? In general. And this is how it works. So I'm just going to walk you really quickly through the tutorial of exactly how to execute this so you can do it for yourself. Remember, this is not financial advice. All right, so let's make this tutorial as quick as possible. If you come to Coinbase.com, this is my preferred method of depositing USDC in Celsius. It's very simple. So Celsius, sign up, okay, make an account, verify your identity, KYC or know your customer, then go to Coinbase. You're also going to get a secondary website. It's called Coinbase Pro. As you can see here, pro.coinbase.com. But the first thing you need to do is sign up for Coinbase, verify your identity, and then connect your payment method or your bank account. If you come over here to settings, you can see it right here, payment methods. You add your payment method, and then from there, you can actually fund your USD into Coinbase Pro. Now, what you want to do is very simple. You click the top left-hand corner of Coinbase Pro. It's the same exact login credentials. It might even do it automatically for you once you just type in the URL or click the link below. And then from here, you want to press deposit. Okay, you see I already have the USD, so I'm not going to actually do it. But if you want to deposit from your bank account, all you have to do is click United States dollar. Now, don't get it confused. You're not going to be able to do USDC. So if you type it in, right, you see that there's different type of USD coins, stable coins. The one you want to click is right here, just USD, okay? And then from there, you click your bank account that you want to deposit it from your bank account, and then you put in an amount that you want to deposit. So say I want to do 1,500, and then from there, preview deposit, and you go for it, okay? You deposit that into your account. You can instantly trade it, but you have to wait 4 days for you to actually send the cryptocurrency from, to anywhere. So if you want to send it to Celsius, you're just going to have to come back. There are a couple ways to get past it. If you do a bank wire to Coinbase, you could immediately withdraw your funds. And just understand that you're either going to have to wait that 4-day period, or you're going to have to do a bank transfer to instantly get access to withdraw it to Celsius, or just come back, guys, to the video later on to finish up the process, or you can pause it. Whatever the case is, handle that situation. Now from here, you're going to transfer it over to USDC. So if I go over to right here, portfolios, and we click the actual USD, it says convert to USDC for free. Boom. Press max, convert. That simple. Now I have USDC coin. And if I click portfolios, you can see that USDC coin. Now from there, all we have to do is withdraw it. So if you click right here at the top left-hand corner, we're going to withdraw this money, USDC coin, to a crypto address. You want to do a crypto address because we're going to get the address from here. From there, you're going to come on over to Celsius and you're going to press receive. Okay, receive, add new coins. We're adding USDC. So you can search it right here, USDC, and then I'm just gonna click that, add to list. Now we have a list, and this is giving us our receive address, as you can see here, or the public address, view and copy address. Copy that right there, and then from there, you're just gonna come on over to Coinbase Pro. Remember, we clicked withdraw to USDC, enter USDC address, boom, use this address, valid USDC address, and then I'm just going to do $1,000. Withdraw. I just have to put my 2-factor authenticator in here. All right, and it should go through Coinbase. It might take about 15-20 minutes. I'll come back when that goes through, and then from there, we'll finish up the process. All right, so once you're done, you can see that I received it. It popped up in the account, 1,000 USD. It hasn't started yet, but the money that's on this account, you don't really have to do anything else. It's in Celsius. You have accepted the terms and conditions. They will now use your money for loans, and you will get 8.88% APY. And when you send it off, that's essentially withdrawing your money, and you will receive your money in the form of obviously USDC to the platform of choice that you want to send it to. Now, I obviously don't have any rewards there, but you could see the reward distribution from me having just a 2,789 small portfolio here. You see that I received $55.09 in rewards, which is nice to have. It's really good, actually, because the Ethereum otherwise would have been collecting dust. That's the benefit of using Celsius. Guys, feel free to use the affiliate link. I did not get paid by them in any way, shape, or form. So now that you see how simple it is with Celsius, you can earn about 8.88% yearly interest rate on your USDC, or they have other options for other stablecoins. The beauty is that they actually pay you out per week, but there's obviously an interest rate change per week as well. But it ranges about 8 to 11%, and it's pretty predictable, at least for as long as I've been watching it. Let's say hypothetically that you didn't want to buy Bitcoin and you invested in USDC alone, you'd actually make more than the S&P 500. And after 30 years, you'll actually make about 18.25% more if you would invest in USDC rather than the S&P 500, which equals to about 150K loss. So it's actually just doing that and holding stablecoins is more lucrative than traditional finance in general. But let's say hypothetically, you take half of that money, instead put it in an appreciating asset like Bitcoin, and then half in USDC. We know how much you're gonna make off USDC. Let's figure out how much you're gonna make off Bitcoin. All right, check out these two charts here from the past 3 to 5 years. BTC in the last 5 years grew 5,105%. And in the last 3 years, it grew 389%. As you can see, as BTC gets older, it's going to grow less and less. According to the law of diminishing returns, as you put more money into any asset like BTC, the volatility should lower and become more stable. Taking that into consideration, I actually got my data analyst to jump on this problem. So if you guys look right here, we actually use the BLX to make this data science model, and we're just using logarithmic regression. It's very simple. As you can see, we did it for Bitcoin's price in a 30-year period and a 10-year period. It's funny because we try to do Ethereum, but Ethereum is actually not as lucrative as Bitcoin by percentage gain. So we're going to stick for at least this retirement, being that Bitcoin's so certain. This retirement's going to be Bitcoin and USDC based, and we'll give you options for both. You could see that if you go out 30 years, Bitcoin's price could potentially be $2.4 million, right? It's actually pretty crazy. If you go out 10 years, the prediction model is saying Bitcoin's price could be roughly $196,000. So based on these predictions, all we have to do is figure out approximately how much Bitcoin can cost per month and then make that investment with the $575 that we got for our investment in retirement. So just to give you a quick explanation of logarithmic regression, it's basically just a prediction regression line that people use to predict prices of anything, to be completely honest. Now, let me show you something else, because the compound effect is very lucrative. As you can see here, we're getting the $575. So if we invested that only in BTC over a period of 30 years, you could see that your investment will be pretty big, about what, $2.4 million. Over 10 years, if you invest $575, you could see that your investment will be about $210,000. So that's very interesting. Now, if we do, for example, half BTC and half USDC, as you can see here, we split up that monthly investment over a 30-year time. Your BTC investment will obviously be about half, which is 1.2 million. And then your USDC investment will be about $500,000, $513,879. That's really interesting. So it's a little bit safer, of course, taking that into consideration. So the mixed portfolio over a 30-year will be about $1.7 million. So obviously, if you invest in Bitcoin, it's going to be, a little bit more, but remember, you're taking on more risk with the volatile asset. If you want a more passive approach, you can go 50-50, and you're losing about what, $700,000. But remember, it's just decreased risk. We know that stablecoins are going to be here. We know that 90% of all money on the internet is digital. So for, a government to adopt a government-backed currency or a stablecoin, it's just much more, I wouldn't say likely, but it's just a safer approach. All right, so let's go over the complete details so you guys understand the math. So as you can see here, for the average income and the average expenses in the United States worker, you get about $6,907 to invest per year. Now that's a per year calculation. People usually invest like something per month. So let's do like a per month passive investment, right? Assuming that the interest in the S&P 500 is only 8% and USDC is 8.88%, you'll actually make more in USDC if you just did that. Now, if we look at just the S&P 500, you can see that after 10 years, you get about 105,000, and after 30 years, you get about 821,000. Now, if you just invested in USDC, it's a little bit more. You get about 110,000 in 10 years, and then in 30 years, you get 971,000. Now, if you just did all BTC and not just USDC, all BTC, you get about 210,000, almost double than the S&P 500, and then you get 2.4 million after 30 years. Okay, but obviously that's risky. So what I recommend and what I would do if I was passively investing, I'll go 50-50 BTC and USD, right? And you can see that it's still way more lucrative. After 10 years, you get about $160,000. If you do the 50-50 split in comparison to the S&P 500, we only have 105,000. And after 30 years, you get 1.6, 1.7 million in comparison to 821,000. No matter which way you cut it, as you can see here for the 30-year comparison, all USDC is 18.25% more lucrative. All BTC is 193.51% more lucrative. And 50-50 split is 105% more lucrative. Okay. So here's the actual physical dollar amounts that you will actually make more in comparison to traditional investing. If you look at all USDC, you actually make $150,000 more. If you look at all BTC, you make about $1.6 million more than investing in the S&P 500. If you look at the 50-50 split, you make $870,000 more in this type of strategy. And this is obviously assuming that you understand what crypto means and you understand that it's going to last for a very long time. If you look at, for example, the smartest people, Michael Saylor, we have Jack Dorsey, all these big tech type of people that invested in the infrastructure of the current internet, right? That kind of predicted, where we're going to be today. These guys are predicting the future. Remember, government's already adopting it. We have, countries making it legal tender. There's a lot of bullish, very, very bullish, undeniable facts about cryptocurrency nobody can argue with. But of course, this is not financial advice. That's it for this video. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism, subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one.